Yeah, I can't be alive.
Yes.
No.
What's up, everybody? This is Henry and Susan, and we are here on another Tuesday. Today, we're going to be talking about how often should you clean your solar panels, and are you new to solar panel cleaning? So, we want to talk about these subjects because we want to talk to you on the customer side and somebody who's just getting into the business side of solar panel cleaning. This is going on our sixth year now. It is January of 2025, and things are busy for us, so we try to get on when we can, and it's a whole new year, and with the weather changing and everything like that, it's getting more and more. What should I say? Um, impre- Unpredictable as far as solar panel cleaners coming into the area and so forth, and starting businesses. There's a lot more solar panel cleaners getting into the business itself. It seems like it's a growing industry for new businesses coming in. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think so. I think it's all year round. I don't think there's not
No, no, no.
one
I'm
thing.
not talking about all year round thing. Okay, I'm talking about the industry itself. About the industry. It's a brand new industry. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people getting into this industry because it's fairly easy to get into. It's something that
I wouldn't say it's easy because not businesses are not easy to get into because there's a lot entailed to it. So I wouldn't say it's easy.
why
It's
wouldn't
not
why
easy to get into any business.
Sure, it is. You
No,
don't need a license to get into this, do you?
no, but it's, I mean,
Okay, then.
any business, but
Um,
it's not always easy because financially, maybe it's not easy financially, maybe it's not easy mentally because it's also overwhelming, the things you have to do to prepare for it.
that's for
But
somebody that's new in business that doesn't know anything about business. Yes, it could be very challenging at times getting into this industry, getting into the business. Um, but when I say getting into the business and it being easy, it's a piece of cake. You don't need, it's not rocket science. You don't need to come into this business and have a degree. You don't need a college education. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about easy getting into this industry, because you know somebody who may have quite a bit of money come in and say, you know what, I want to start a business. They can go down to their local uh, uh, city city hall and pick up a business license. And this is what I'm talking about as far as getting into this industry. Buy some equipment, and before you know it, in a week's time, they're in business. That's what I'm talking about when it comes down to that. Because one of the things is um, this industry, and I've talked about it many, many times, over and over and over again. This is an industry that's easy to get into. There's lots of competition. And one of the things that I've always mentioned is, before you even get into this industry, get into this field, is to check to see how much competition that you actually have. Who are you dealing with? Like us, we have lots of competition, right?
mhm.
I mean, we can look every single day. We can look on Google and check to see how many new businesses are coming in. But at the same time, there are a lot of businesses that are, you know, selling their equipment because they don't last. Uh, I've seen quite a few main competitors that have came in uh, that are disappearing now because uh, once it gets oversaturated, once it gets uh, lots of competition, well, then then it will become difficult for that particular business to survive. It's like us, right? You know,
Mhm.
we get phone calls every day. Even even now in January, we still get lots of phone calls. But there are businesses here that um, don't get the phone calls.
Mhm.
That is pretty quiet, you know. And I can't speak for all businesses, and I'm not doing that. I'm not going to attempt to do that. I'm just telling you that I've been in this industry a long time to where,
Sorry.
you know, we already know, um, you know, that, sorry, I got my, every time that
It's a cat.
every time that we end up,
This
you
is
know,
Tink.
this is Tink, by the way.
She's a girl.
Yes. And look, Tink, right here.
Say hi, Carolyn.
And you see Carolyn that's online. Hello.
She loves Henry. She's glued to Henry.
So, um, you know, we get a lot of business, that repeat business that comes in. We get a lot of commercials that come in, and you know that saves us, you know, because in this industry, if you have no business during the wintertime, you know, it's raining, the weather's changing. Um, it seems to me that customers only think about their solar panels when it starts to get extremely hot. Like when it starts to get really, really warm, that's when customers really think about getting their solar panels clean. Businesses, on the other hand, will have a different mindset because a lot of them have reports that they get, and those reports will fail, and they're usually giving us a call and saying, "Hey, I need my solar panels clean," so they can pass their um, inspections, pass reports, because they may have an annual report that they have to do, or an annual inspection that they have to do, and they fail, and so they're giving us a call. We clean them, and then all of a sudden, um, it their problem is fixed. Customers don't really they don't they don't really think about, you know, the production all year round. They only think about it as it starts to get hot, starts to get warm, when summertime is coming. We start picking up really big time in March and April, and then May, June, July is our busy months, and then it starts to settle down in August and September. It will slow way down, and sometimes in November we may get quite a bit of work, and we may get nothing. Who knows? We just don't know as far as what that season is going to in detail. I could tell you the last three seasons, um, other besides the one that just passed, we can pretty much shut down in November, and then back in February. In March, we would be back, you know, working. Um, but between those times, we had to figure out what else that we had to do just to survive, you know. So, anything you want to add to?
No, just this season's been challenging, I think, for a lot of people because the winds have been so unpredictable and they've been actually longer than what we expected. It's been going on 2, 3 weeks now with the Santa Ana winds, and
Well,
you
that's
know
just here in the
they,
Los Angeles area too.
yeah,
So,
it's been the strongest out here. Um, Other times it hasn't been as strong. I don't remember it being as strong as it's been, but
yeah,
it's been challenging.
I think this weekend is going to be the first weekend to where we get some measurable rain, you know. So it's kind of starting late for us because normally in January, early January, or even late December, we would get some type of rain or
Mhm.
something. But this year,
This year's weather's been very weird. different.
It has been weird. It's been different, but it's kind of it's good for us because we still are getting our repeat customers,
Mhm.
brand new customers coming
We've
in.
had to move a lot of customers around because it's been so windy where we have to think our safety first because being up on a roof at 50, 60 miles an hour is not the safest thing to do.
Yeah,
So,
and that's another thing is just being smart while you're up there, making sure that you have safety equipment. You have other people out there watching out for you as you're cleaning solar panels or even working on the roof. Period, because there's
we have our limits because, with all the dust and everything, and then it doesn't become safe enough to get on the roof, period, when it's really super windy. So we watch, and customers understand that. They're like, no, 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 well, we don't want that. And, so we get it, so it's been challenging, to with these winds. It's been, like I said, it's been longer than what we've had in the previous years when we have Santa Ana winds. They've been quite strong where you can actually hear the howling of it out here. That's when they're pretty bad.
yeah, and it's a judgment call at that point, right? It's a judgment call and saying, well, should I go out there and clean the solar panels and at least get them clean? Because what a lot of people don't realize too is even when it rains, I love cleaning solar panels when it rains because it's easier to clean the panels when they're like really, really wet. Um, I would rather be cleaning solar panels when it's raining, to be honest, especially a commercial. Just see, and this is where your mindset is totally different
And
than
then
mine.
that's how you get sick, and that's how you
You
get
know
the
what?
flu, 'cause-
Getting sick and cleaning panels is two different things. If you cover up, if you're out there and you got the protection, that's your thing. See, and this is where you have to understand when you've been in the business for a long time and and I know, and even when Rick and I were here, when Rick was here, we would clean solar panels when it was raining, and it worked so much better because the dirt would come off much easier than panels themselves. You can sit there and say no all you want. That's okay.
When you get
Because
sick when you're older, it takes longer to
listen,
recover.
I'm not in the grave, okay? Listen, I'm up there in age. Yeah, so what? There's a lot of people out there that are up there in age. You make it sound like I'm ready to just like retire and give that shit up, you know. And I mean, great. It's great that you're looking out for me, but at the same time, I'm telling you, as far as cleaning solar panels, it's easier to clean them, especially when it's overcast, when it's raining, when it's early morning, and it's not hot out there. It's not a look. Would you rather clean solar panels in 110-degree weather, or would you rather clean it at 50 degrees and while it's raining?
I rather clean it when it's hot.
See, and that's the difference.
Not when it's cold, yes, but not when it's raining.
Yes, yes. So I would really love to do a podcast or a live video with you cleaning solar panels in 110-degree weather. I would love that.
That's fine. I don't care.
No, I mean, no, you actually
okay.
cleaning
That's okay.
and you actually up there.
That's okay.
Guarantee you would be handing that thing right back to me and saying, here you go. I'm done. Because as you, as a solar panel cleaner, would know and agree with me, is that you would rather be cleaning it when it's nice and cool, than opposed to 100-degree weather or 80-degree weather. It's just easier. I mean, it's easier to do that. And my point is, I want to bring this up. Even as a customer, we clean solar panels even when it rains, and it kind of, when we use our deionized water and we get that taken care of and it rains, it's still spotless. It's still clean. It's still out there brand spanking new. Now, if you're out there and you don't get them clean when it rains, you will see the film on that thing, and you will see that your production may increase just a little bit. That's because it got some of that topsoil off, but it didn't actually clean your solar panels. It didn't clean it at all. And this is where customers have to understand, even when it's about to rain or raining, get your solar panels clean. Because if you get your solar panels clean and they're super clean, and even if it rains or there's a heavy downpour or what have you, um, it's even it's even better to get them clean, and that way they are spotless. And I kind of think of it as this. I think of it as Rain-X on a glass on the glass, and then all of a sudden it rains and it beads right off, and those solar panels. I mean, the windshield looks really really good, still clean. You just put your windshield wipers on, and guess what? They're like brand new again. It's no different than getting the solar panels clean, even during the rainy season. This is why we have commercial that have us clean them, even when it's raining, because we already know that it's going to benefit us. And so for me, it's like, well, if we didn't go out there and clean them when it rained, well, guess what? The months of February and March, when it's really raining, they're kind of wasted days, because your production could be better, because it can be. As soon as that sun comes out, guess what? You're producing, and the solar panels will still produce even with a little bit of sun. It can be partly cloudy. It may not produce as much, but it will produce. And that's what customers have to realize. Customers have to understand. Do I want to get my production all year round? Or do I want to get my production 6 months out of the year? Or, we've had people call us, and the first thing we ask them, when was the last time these things were cleaned? Never. Oh, okay. How long have you had your solar panels? 8 years. So in 8 years, you've never cleaned your solar panels. Oh yeah, but I noticed my production was a little low. No, your production's a lot low, because when we get up there and we take a look at them, most of the cells are all burnt, and we have to point that out to customers and say, look, this is the result of your solar panels the way they look right now. These things won't last 20 years, 25 years, because you haven't cleaned them. It's such a long time that the middle of these cells are all burned out. And so you'd be lucky if they lasted a couple of years. And people get upset because they don't realize what could happen if they don't get the solar panels clean. It's not so much just the production. This is why we're in business. This is why we have commercial calling us all the time, is because they already know how important it is for them to clean solar panels. Walk into a Target and take a look. In any Target that you go to, walk into the Target and see LED lightings on the inside of Target. Guess what? Those LED lights are run by solar panels on each and every single one of those roofs on Target. You have 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 solar panels on top of a Target. And that's just one business. And you can go up there, you can go inside, and it will be just super bright. And all that's run by solar panels. Every single day, those things are being ran. Every single day. Okay, those lights stay on 24/7. I don't think you'll see a Target that does not have its lights on 24/7. They stay on quite a bit. And so when we get called out and we go out there and we clean, well, it's like we already know. And if we see how bad it looks, we know the production is really bad. And after everything is done, well, they're calling us back saying, "Hey, I need this one clean, or I need this one clean over here, or I need this one clean." So we're out, and it's just a constant thing for us. We're just booking, booking, and booking, and this is where we're able to stay afloat and able to stay in business, just cleaning solar panels or maybe cleaning um, commercial windows, and not doing anything else. I always tell people, look, in our business, we're isolated and concentrating on two things: commercial window cleaning and solar panel cleaning, and we will add bird proofing to that, and that's our main business. We don't do rooftop cleaning. We don't do, pressure washing. We don't do, even though we have the equipment for it, we just don't do it. I'm that person where I sat there and I said, I'm going to concentrate on this, and it's benefited me in many, many ways as far as business is concerned. People find me a lot easier because my business is isolated. It's isolated to solar panel cleaning. And they're like, well, why are you getting calls and we're not getting calls? Why is this person getting calls? Well, think about it. Maybe your business has 5 or 6 or 7 different things that you're doing. So it confuses the algorithm in Google or Yahoo or any search engines, because people are going to try to find you and look at your reviews. We have people that have 2 times more reviews than we do. They can have 400 plus reviews. Who cares? That's not a threat to us, because that right there is Google will put us in front of somebody who has 2 times more reviews because of our keywords, because of everything that we do, especially like here on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or anything else where we talk about solar panel cleaning. We only talk about solar panel cleaning. You very rarely hear us talking about pressure washing. You very rarely hear us talking about gutter cleaning, because those uh, that product right there, I'm not even interested in. I'm not interested in hanging on the side of a house, going all the way around cleaning gutters. That's not for me. That's for somebody else who wants to do it. I leave that to somebody else, because we can make a lot more money doing bird proofing, solar panel cleaning, and commercial cleanings all day long. And so we don't worry about all this other stuff. That's money that's left on the floor for other businesses. Let them do that. You know, I mean, if we could book 6 to 7 jobs a day, we're good. We're fine. We'll last the whole day and clean the whole day. If we book 1 or 2 jobs a day, we're good. We're fine. If we can make our business can do $1,000 to $2,000 a day, that's a good day. That's a good week for us. If your business is not making $1,000 a day or $500 a day, then something is wrong.
Even if you spread it out in the whole week and you make that $1,000 in that week, that's a good week too.
It's good for somebody who's just starting out,
Yeah.
but not for somebody like us, right? I mean, if you think about it, if we've been in business for 5 years and we're not making that type of money, then yeah, it's going to be a problem, because now we have to look at other things, or we may have to look at, oh, what are we doing wrong? Are we advertising? Are we not advertising? Are we spending money on sponsored ads or stuff like that? I mean, we don't spend money on sponsored ads. We go out there and everything is organic. So, when we go out and we uh, get people calling us, it's on organic leads. It's on people that have watched us on YouTube, watched us on Instagram, saw saw our website or what have you. So there's guys out here right now that are spending $10,000. They've told me $10,000 in advertising, and I say, why? Why are you spending that much money on advertising? And they're complaining because they're not getting the phone calls. So they're trying to figure out, well, what are you guys doing that we're not doing, but we're spending thousands of dollars? Well, it's that time of year. You can't help that time of year. You can't help it when somebody sits there and says, you know what, I'm just going to wait till February, or I'm going to wait till March when it starts to warm up, or I'm going to wait for my income taxes, then I'll start calling, because that's in April.
It's been extended to October this year.
Oh, well, let me finish. In April is when it usually starts because people are getting their income taxes. Yes, that's another thing, is it has been extended till October because of the fires and everything else. It's been extended, so and what have you. Blazer hitting it too hard says, what's SoCal? Meant to say, hey, what's up, what's going on? Taryn, hello Taryn, look at that pretty cat. Hey friends.
It's been freezing in Vegas from what I hear.
Yeah, it's been freezing everywhere. I mean, there's snow where
over there. I think it was like the 30s.
Is it?
That night.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Is it's getting colder and colder, and it's the weather is changing quite a bit.
Yeah, we noticed that we haven't been getting the rain, but it's been really, really cold longer.
Yeah.
This winter.
So. And as it will get, it's gonna get cold, and also during the winter time. I mean, during the summertime, it's gonna get hotter. Mm-hmm. I really think it's gonna get extremely warm this summertime, and we're gonna be busy as heck. Is what always happens. Start booking them calls, and we're doing our thing. But think about it, guys. If you are going to get into this business, really do your homework. Figure out what you are really, really getting into. Because a lot of people get disappointed when they buy all this equipment. They sit there and they go, okay, I'm ready. And then they're out there pounding the pavement. They're knocking on doors. They're leaving, flyers, and calls aren't coming in like they should. Or they're trying to figure out, well, what do I go out and I advertise on Nextdoor? Do I advertise on Yelp? Do I advertise on this? Because these advertising companies will take your money. They will take your money in a heartbeat. And I'm telling you right now, they will not hesitate to have you spend $500 to $600 in a month. Minimum. We get phone calls every single day. Mm-hmm. Who do we get phone calls from?
From dumb marketing people that I love to hang up on them.
Marketing? What do you mean marketing?
People that want to, increase your business with some stupid marketing. Yeah.
They will go out there and they will call you
and want to give you money, and they promise you the world, and no.
We there's called short-term loans. Okay. A lot of guys from the East Coast will call people on the West Coast and say, we can help fund your business. And they will go out there and try to sell you on short-term loans. Be really, really careful with that.
There's always a catch.
Yeah, the catch is 500% profit. on some of these guys because they will give you a short-term financial loan, and that will really, really hurt your business because the terms are not monthly terms. You got to remember, these terms are going to be weekly terms. So you may be paying $1,000 a week if you were to get, say, a $30,000 loan or $40,000 loan. Look, guys, if you are really interested in getting funding for your business, look at SBA. Look at the Small Business Association. Get a long-term loan for 20 to 30 years, okay, for your business. Get those type of loans with very little interest, okay? Um, if you need equipment, if you need any of that, always look at the SBA first, okay? And try to get a small business loan and work your magic just with a SBA loan. Because if you go out there and you try to get these small term loans, they can really take money from you, and they could possibly
Watch it for the scammers.
take your business away.
There's a lot of scammers out right now that are taking advantage of all the people that lost their businesses in the fires. So
Yeah.
watch out for all those people.
Tara Lynn says, "How do you feel about buying reviews on Google? Don't do it. That is the worst thing that you could ever do. If you buy reviews from Google, Google will find out. Google will catch you. See, there's companies out there, I think they do, I don't know who they are. I mean, we don't ever buy uh, leads or buy reviews uh, for Google. As you know, our company has been in business for almost 6 years now. We are proud to say we have nothing but 5-star reviews, and we have about little over 200 uh, 5-star reviews. There are companies that have only been open 6 months that have 400 reviews, that have double of what we have. And there are companies out there that have 500 reviews and have been shut down. It's just a matter of time before Google recognizes that. A lot of people don't realize how smart Google is when it comes to that. Okay. And I've talked about this stuff, and I've talked about, you know, you improving your business. Look, Google, when you take a picture and you upload a picture onto your say Google Maps, right? Or your Google Presence, right? You go up there and you upload your picture. Do you see this? Oh, this right here. Say this was my company name. Okay, the American flag. This was my company name. Google will recognize this even in the photo and say this is a legitimate, you know, company. And we have literally had people that have called us and said, yes, we're gonna your photos have been approved for Google. And they said one of the things that helped you out, and I always remembered this, was they always told me, if you have T-shirts or shirts that have your name on it, and somebody takes a picture of you and at a certain location, geotag, it's called geotagging. So even when you take that picture, it tells you the exact location where you're at. If you have any of your signatures on there, your logos, and Google recognizes that in the picture, it's legit to them. Okay. If it's a stock photo, they're going to figure it out really, really quick because of the geotagging that's on there. And most of the time, most of those companies, they get shut down. Google will shut them down, under review, what have you. So, Tara Lynn, to answer that question about buying reviews, I would never do that. I don't do it. Don't do it. Even if it's tempting, just try to get them done organically and what have you. We go out and we will send a link because it's on our Google Maps. So we already have the link to our Google Maps to where if you want to leave a review, we'll send that to the customer after we're done and let them leave a review if they want. We could send it to 10 people, maybe two or one person will leave a review. You can't help that. Not everybody's going to leave that review. Okay. Now, companies are going to grow. Companies are going to uh, become bigger if they have employees. We'll use like a plumbing company as an example, right? Plumbers, they have a whole bunch of, uh, they have a whole bunch of employees. So maybe they got 10 trucks. Well, if they went out to every single one of their employees and said, guys, ask for a review, and say 5 out of the 10 trucks every single day have left reviews, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get more reviews, a lot more reviews than somebody who's just, say, for us that are by ourselves, going out to each job and asking for a review. Now, there's guys out here that are competition. There's guys out here that have 2 times, 3 times more. Are we threatened by that? No, absolutely not. Because there are things that we do that gets recognized, and these guys could go out there and push and ask for all these reviews. It doesn't mean that they're a better company just because they got more reviews. It just means that they have more people out there asking for reviews. And that on the algorithm for Google, it is not only based on how many reviews you have. It isn't. It's based on your presence, how well you're out there. We got a super high presence on YouTube, and we get lots of people from India, Pakistan, the United States, Mexico, Puerto Rico, East Coast. They all watch my videos. They all watch us when we do our lives. They see all this that we do. Well, Google recognizes that. So a lot of people come and say, we get a lot of our businesses that have found us on Google, that have said, yeah, you know what, can you give me a quote? We don't go to businesses. We don't go out there and say, hey, would you like your solar panels cleaned? I don't think I've done that in probably 5 years.
Since I've started with you,
I've never gone to a company.
I think we did one on one, but
Which one was that? Because I don't remember.
that was I forgot. We did walk into one.
Okay.
There was one, but for the most part.
Was it a commercial?
Yeah.
Was it commercial?
Yeah, I think it was early on when I first started with you. But for the most part, 99% of the time, a lot of the commercials come to us.
Yeah, we don't call commercial and say, I mean, there's a lot of new people out there, and we've heard it because we've had some of our commercial accounts say, oh, yeah, there's like 4 guys that have been here already trying to get your business. And what the funny thing is, we do contracts, 5-year contracts, 4-year contracts, 3-year contracts. We try to push contracts because if we could push contracts, we know that we're going to have repeat business with commercial. Excuse me. So when we price out for commercial, if a company wants only a one and done, just one time and that's it, we're going to price extremely high because we already know they're just testing us out. We tell them, look, if you only want us one time, we'll clean it, but we're going to give it to you at this price. And if you decide that you want to go with us, then we could talk a lower price. And if they're interested, they'll go for it. If they're not, they'll pass. We don't get every single commercial account. We really don't. But we get lots of good accounts. And that's what I could honestly say is we get a lot of great commercial accounts. And so, you know, we don't have to go out there and try to find more work because work is coming to us. And that's a good thing. And that's just us being proactive for over 5 years. Tara Lynn says, yeah, we would never buy reviews. All of our reviews are real people. That's awesome. And Tara Lynn, once you do that and you got, these reviews are legit, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about going out there and having to be shut down. There are people out here that are putting 2 locations or 3 locations for their business and getting shut down. And so, it's just they're doing stupid things to where they go and they either don't know or they're trying to cheat the system and say, oh, I have a business over here and I have a business over here. And I remember us when we had our business here in Southern California and I wanted to expand to another state. One of the things I had asked a Google representative is if I want another office and put another office on the East Coast, do I have to start all over again? And they said, no, you actually don't. You just come in here and you can submit some paperwork, and it's just as easy as you just having one account but 2 different locations. And I said, okay. But I had asked them, well, what if I start another name over here, but it's under me, it's under us, and we go out here and we change it? Then they said, well, then Google has a problem with that because if it's related to the same company with the same EIN number, same social security number or corporation, anything that matches with another thing here, that's where people get in trouble. So when it comes down to that, you got to be really, really careful because it confuses people a lot. Or having a location that's not a legitimate location. Even people getting, I think, P.O. boxes and using a P.O. box.
Yeah, you can't use a P.O. box.
They get shut down. They're like, oh, well, why?
Because it's not considered a physical
address.
Yeah.
But
we hope the weather out there, wherever you're at, has been cooperating with you. And, hope you're, been starting off good this year. And, with us on our end, California has been through a lot, early on this year, which, it's pretty sad. What a lot of people are going through right now, especially the businesses that have lost their business. They got to figure out what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Especially they've had it for so many years. Not only did they lose their home, but they also lost their business. So they got double problems that they're having to deal with right now. So,
right.
It's just tough for a lot of people right now because they don't know if it's even worth starting up their business, because a lot of companies out there are insurance companies, or they're not giving them the money that their business is worth or even their home to even start to rebuild, which is what the problem is right now.
Yeah. So I want to ask a few of you guys out here, okay, as far as you owning your own solar panel cleaning company, okay, what do you feel about what we talk about when we talk about it being a seasonal thing, or we're not, and I'm strictly talking solar panel cleaning. I'm not talking about any other services that you guys could put out there under your business, okay? Those are just called add-ons. Those are add-on services that you could do. Anybody can do it. That's totally up to you whether you want to do it or not. But um, our there's quite a few of you guys on here, and I see Pure Flow exterior cleaning. Hello, Pure Flow. I don't know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. Surzer 25 is checking in. Um, you know, but how is your business in your area? And I don't know who your competition is. I don't know if you have competition. I know here in LA, we have over 100 people doing solar panel cleaning. Um, but
Arizona is growing as far
there's
as
a lot of places that are growing.
no, even
Yeah,
from compared to when we went one time to now, there's been a lot of people in Arizona
yeah,
starting their business out there.
yeah,
I've noticed.
yeah. Pure Flow says I clean panels all year round. That's awesome. I mean, we clean panels all year round. My point is somebody that's brand new, that's just getting into the business. You got to give them the expectations, right?
What Henry's saying basically is that the
Oh.
the money that you've made during the peak season is different than what it is when it's the slow season. That I think that's what
Mhm.
Henry's trying to get at when it comes to is it a seasonal, because it's like, any other business out
Well,
there,
let,
any other business out there, they have a peak season where
let's be
everybody,
real.
well, let me finish,
Okay.
where everybody buys, like, Christmas time, everybody buys Christmas stuff at, right after Thanksgiving or whatever, and then all of a sudden it slows down because people aren't going to buy Christmas stuff until next year. So that's their peak season. Or summertime, bathing suits, peak season to buy bathing suits, summertime. But then as it gets colder, it starts to go down, and the business starts to go down as far as.
Are you making the same
not the same.
amount of? Are you making the same type of money you're making in July and June? Because we could do 20, 30, $40,000 in those months cleaning solar panels for commercial and residential. If I looked at my bank account and we look at our bank account as a business to see what type of money that we're making in July, doesn't compare to right now. Doesn't. And we're being honest with you. But there are people out here saying, "Oh, I clean solar panels all year round, and I make the same amount of money as I do in June or July." And I tell you, and I can say, I've been in this business long enough to where I know that's not the truth, because I can put money on the table. I could put thousands of dollars on the table. You show me your bank account in July, and you show me your bank account in January, and if it's comparable or pretty close, then I would say, here's here's my money, because I could put my money on it and say that's not the case for most people. Some people may have contracts all year round. We have 5-year contracts on all of our commercial. 5 years. We have some that have 3-year contracts on our commercials. All of our commercials. Our residential, we have repeat customers that we've been dealing with for over 5 years now. Repeat customers. We have brand new customers that come in. So our business is well established. Susan gets phone calls every month, every week, and she's booking, correct?
Mm-hmm. Some are a little tougher than others, but I try to. And those are the fun ones to work and to deal with.
Well, okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Those are the fun ones.
Let's talk about
Because I
this.
love to hear their excuses.
Okay, but they're excuses, right? People are calling. Um, we get fact checkers all the time. We get price checkers all the time. We whatever you want to call them, right? We get these people that call us. Hey, what do you charge per panel for a 1-story house? And
You know which ones? I've gotten smarter where, even if they're not those type of people, but if they're customers that are, oh, well, I live, I want to know how much you charge, in this, to clean my panels. And I've been smart and not giving them the exact price of what we charge. I kind of
Mhm.
give them like a broad range of what will, it could be from this to this. That way, because we have so much competition, they can't figure out exactly how much we charge.
Mhm.
So I've gotten a little smarter where I'm like expanding it out more, where they got to figure out, oh, okay, well,
It could be this, it could be that.
mhm.
When you're serious and you're ready to really
Then
do
I'll tell them.
business,
Yeah.
then we kind of know exactly um, if it's a real customer or if somebody's just fishing.
Mhm.
I could give them a price so low that they have to take it. They got to take this price. It's so low that even if it's really, really low,
They don't take it sometimes. It's funny.
I know that, but we know that it's somebody checking our prices.
Mhm.
But I will give them a price so low that I say, okay, would you like to book? Oh, no, no, that's okay. I got to check with I said, well, what's wrong with the price? Did you get something cheaper than the $150 that I took off of you? Oh, no, no, yes, that's a great price, but I got to check. Okay, no problem. And you never hear from them again.
Mhm.
That's just somebody going out there checking your prices, your competition, somebody new in the industry, and what have you.
I've had people call from other states, and they're like, "Well, how much would how?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I'm not in their state. We're in this state."
One
And let
thing
me finish.
yeah,
And I said, "Oh, well, what city?" Because I'm about to give them the price. Oh, wait a minute, what city? Oh, I'm in the East Coast. Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't. We can't do it.
we
So
can't.
then I tell them that, and then they ask me, "Well, how much? What? How much should I be looking for?" I said, "You know what? I honestly don't know because your state is different than out here. I can't give you a price of how much they would charge out there because they could be totally different than out here." So they're like, "Well, can't you give me an idea?" I said, "No, I can't because like, I don't know what's out there. I don't know what they charge out there. I could tell you one price and I could be way off. So I don't tell them."
Well, okay, so we'll use that Florida or the East Coast. There are
Mhm.
guys out there charging $15 per panel,
Yeah.
$20 per panel,
So
$25
what
per
I
panel.
do is I just let them do their homework themselves.
No, no, I'm just talking customer wise.
Yeah, I let the
Okay,
customers do
right.
the homework themselves. You took the time to call me. You could take the time to call other plant cleaners in your area, and you can ask around there.
I think there was somebody that called us today and he said, "Yeah, you guys were the first people that we called." And I'm not even sure if you even booked them or not.
No.
Yeah,
Mm.
but they were out there checking prices, and
Mhm.
they're going to do that. Everybody's going to go. See, I kind of look at it this way, guys. This industry, there is so many people checking prices. They're treating you like you're, I don't know, maybe uh, somebody that's vulnerable to you're not treating your business as a business. It's like somebody cutting lawns, right? Oh, I'll do it for $10. I'll go cut your lawn for $10. Or a gardener will come in and say, you know what, I'll do it for this price. And so now
Mm.
it's people checking prices now, and they're wheeling and dealing with you. And I always tell them this:
Like trying to negotiate.
they're trying to negotiate with you, and I'm sitting there going, "Do you negotiate every time you go out to eat? Do you need to negotiate when you go to Jack in the Box or McDonald's and say, hey, that hamburger is a little too expensive. Can I get it for 50 cents instead of $1?
And the grocery store.
Or at a grocery store? You are going to pay the price. This is what this industry should be. No negotiations whatsoever. Should have a fixed price in this industry. If everybody did that, if everybody was on the same page, if everybody said my starting thing is $180 minimum, everybody would be getting paid $180 minimum to clean solar panels, or $200. Everybody would be doing that. But there are so many people out here negotiating. Oh, let me do it for gas money. I'm going to go over there and just clean them real quick. You know, a lot of people don't have insurance. A lot of people call me and go, where do you get your insurance? And insurance companies are running out of California as fast as they can. They can.
If speaking of that,
Mhm.
if any of you who are starting their business or want to start their business, or if you have a business and you're trying to change insurance companies, if you need somebody, I have a friend that does commercial. And he's done ours, so he's very good at what he does. He's been in the business for so long. So if you're looking for somebody that you need insurance for,
Commercial insurance,
or a commercial, even auto, personal, anything,
auto.
but if you're specifically looking for commercial, I got the guy for you.
Wow, that's a big plug.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
He's a very good friend of mine.
He's a good friend, but at the
Henry
same
knows him as well.
at the same time, he's got great startups.
He's good at what he does.
Put it this way, even on a policy, he's commercials they're not doing that.
He goes out of his way to